scared me.
All right. So I can see that we have some issues by looking at the scores that we got on those papers. I see that some of you did not turn in a paper at all. So I'm going to address any questions you might have initially. And then if you don't have any, I'll tell you which problems to complete.
On rotation?
Just a second, let me finish. That's nothing when I get the question, okay? I just want to make sure I'm listening to your question.
All right. Sounds good to me. So how long until we figure out what dilation works?
Next quarter.
I turned
Okay.
in.
All right, so again, let's start off with questions. What kind of questions do you have, David?
On rotation, do you, like, for the benchmark, would we end up having, would we have to remember that whenever you go counterclockwise, I believe it's negative yx?
You might have to, yes.
Is it that?
It's why.
Just look at your
For counterclockwise?
I have to try to remember them at one time. For benchmark, I won't have my notes.
For counterclockwise, it's negative yx.
What's up? I was
See,
right.
what a concept.
I didn't know, I said I think.
Counterclockwise.
Okay, so yeah, you would have to remember that.
Alright,
But there's only three things you have to remember, right? 1, 2, 3. 180-degree rotation, you just change the signs on both. 90 degrees clockwise is this, so really, you only have to remember 2, because this one you just change the signs on, right? 180 degrees.
Yeah.
So in reality, you're only remembering 2.
Right.
And really, the same thing happens, it switches the x and the y. So really, the only thing you have to remember is which one winds up being the change sign. Right? So it's not too much to remember. All right, questions? Again, there was some issues with your homework. I know you graded it. I know you should have figured out what you did incorrectly, hopefully, when you're looking at the homework. Does anybody have any questions? Okay, so this is going to be worksheet number 4. There are a couple of dilations on here that we're not going to do. So we're not going to do number 4, and we're not going to do problem 3.
Mean two.
We're not going to do number 4.
You mean 2.
You mean 2?
Wait, no, you mean
Sorry.
2, 3, and 4.
On page 4, we're not going to do number 2, and we're not going to do number 3. Okay. So on page 4, we're not going to do number 2, we're not going to do number 3. So I want you to cross both those off. This is still a 3-step transformation. There are only 4 problems you're responsible for. Take your time. We have the entire class period left. You should be able to finish at least 3 of these during the class period today, possibly 2. Since there are no other questions, I'll let you get your protractors, but just a second because I'll do it in groups. But in the meantime, we can go ahead and turn off the camera.